Is Joe Burrow number one overall a no-brainer in your mind? Because we're hearing that maybe the Dolphins are considering trading up to number one overall, and we know how infatuated they've been with Tua for a couple of years. How do you assess that very important question, Greg?
Well, I see Joe Burrow as clearly the number one quarterback prospect. So to me, he's number one. I think he's a better prospect than Tua.
Why?
I think Burrow has better traits overall than Tua. I think that when you look at Burrow, the only thing you would say with Burrow, you could say the same thing about Tua, but I think the only negative, and reasonable people will disagree about this, is that he doesn't have higher level arm strength. But I think every other quarterback trait that you're looking for, Burrow possesses. And he's terrific with his understanding of pocket movement, both inside the pocket, outside the pocket. He's very poised. He's very calm. I think he has high-level traits other than the arm strength. And I think different people will see that differently, but the NFL passing game has changed.
Where do you stand on the subject of Burrow, Greg, that his sample size is smaller? It was just this past year in which he exploded, and you'd like to see that happen in the NFL, not just in the year right before it. What are your thoughts on that subject?
Well, I'd answer it this way, Rich. I think that almost every quarterback is a system quarterback. There are very, very few exceptions to that. Maybe a Patrick Mahomes with his incredibly high-level talent, but every quarterback is a system quarterback, and it depends then on the system you're placed in and what you're asked to do. You could argue Drew Brees is a system quarterback. So I think that, to me, that's not necessarily a valid point to make about a quarterback because there's very, very few guys who are so special that they transcend and can play in any given system.
So where do you put Tua on the pecking order of the quarterback list then? Is he two?
I think Tua is very much system-based. I think he's a timing rhythm player. I think he needs to be in an offense where the ball comes out quick, where he hits his back foot and he moves and the ball comes out. I don't think he's a great athlete. I think that for Tua to be a great player in this league, stylistically, he would have to play like a Drew Brees. He's not Russell Wilson. He's not that athletic. I think his movement ability is fine, but it's not high level. So I think he needs to be with a team that understands what he is and what he isn't. But if you put him in that situation where RPOs are a big factor, where it's a rhythm passing game, he can be an effective player.
And are you aboard the Burrow as Brady comp? Are you aboard that train, Greg?
I think his poise and composure and calmness reminded me of Brady. Can he beat Tom Brady? Boy, I tend to talk stylistically with this kind of stuff because I'm always leery of comparing players to guys who are Hall of Famers like Tom Brady or Drew Brees. So I always use the word stylistically. He moves better than Tom Brady. Brady was a great mover within the pocket. Burrow can move far better outside the pocket.
Greg Cosell here on the Rich Eisen Show. So it sounds like you're not very high on Tua, Greg. I guess, but only in comparison to Burrow, or where does he fall, I guess, in the whole pecking order with Herbert and Love and the rest of the group that we're going to see?
I would say he's a good prospect. I don't think he's a great prospect. I don't think there's anything about Tua's game when you watch him that you say, wow. I happen to be a Jordan Love fan. I like Jordan Love's game. I like his overall talent level. I like the fact that he's a ball distributor, that he's also a rhythm player, and he's 6'4", over 220 pounds. Tua has one issue, Rich, that to me needs to be cleaned up and can be cleaned up. He has a tendency, and maybe because he knows he doesn't have a big arm, he has a tendency to do what we call climb the pocket, step up into the pocket when he doesn't need to. And at 6 feet, that needs to be cleaned up because he will create his own pressure in the NFL if he does that.
So do you take Herbert over Tua?
I would potentially take Love over Tua, and I would take Love over Herbert.
Huh. You're that high on Love. So are you aboard the Love as Patrick Mahomes train?
No. I understand that comparison. Mahomes is a really special talent.
Right.
Love is talented, and is he the kind of quarterback that theoretically has similar abilities? Yes, but he's not Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is really a special talent. Not many people throw the ball like Patrick Mahomes.